A year ago I made a video about saving this stretched Echeveria. I cut it apart, propagated the leaves and hoped for the best. Now, almost a year later, honestly, I think it somehow looks even stranger. When I first saw this stretched Echeveria at my sister's place, I immediately wanted to save it. And honestly, I also thought it would make a great success story for the channel. So I took it home, prepared everything and cut the plant into several sections. My plan was simple: propagate every possible part and eventually turn one struggling succulent into a whole collection of healthy plants. At first everything actually looked promising. The leaves rooted surprisingly fast and soon started producing tiny babies. I planted them almost immediately because, as a beginner, I was extremely excited about leaf propagation and probably a little too impatient. The middle stem sections, however, didn't do so well. The leafless parts became moldy after a few days and eventually ended up in the trash. But one of the middle sections actually survived and slowly started producing 3 new growing heads over time. The very top section is still alive too, although honestly it hasn't changed much since then. And today, almost after a year, I cannot say if it was a successful rescue. Does it look like a thriving succulent? I cannot say so. I also treated recently my succulents against mealybugs because I saw some signs of them in this Repotting somewhere between the leaves. I actually see one of them right now. So I treated all of my succulents as a prevention measurement. No, I treated all of my succulents with this solution because it's exactly against mealybugs, only to find after a couple of days that it was maybe not the best solution or not the best idea. And what I mean is the farina, this protective layer on the leaves, was completely or almost completely washed away, leaving the plants with the significant spots or even some scars. And the question for me is that last year in autumn I made the same thing, I used the same solution and it didn't lead to any problem back then. And my guess is that back then my plants were sitting under direct sunlight and this protective layer was much thicker. And after months after sitting under artificial lights, this layer has got thinner and the solution affected the layers more. So you have to be really careful when you deal with such solutions against pests. Maybe for the first time I just could wash them away with normal water and maybe some cotton sticks. I don't know. I'm gonna try it this time with these plants. Here you also can see that farina is away and it doesn't look so perfect. So, and it's also the reason why I keep them only behind this piece of cloth, so they don't get harmed under direct sunlight. I looked up online if there is any way to fix it, and I found out that there isn't any way to fix it. So the only possibility for me is to wait until all of my affected plants has managed to grow new leaves, so they can refresh themselves this way. And we can see that the new leaves are totally normal, and I don't know, I just need to wait a little bit. It's okay. I still have a lot of babies growing from the leaf cuttings and a couple of plants somehow holding on to life. So the goal for today's video is to separate finally these tiny guys. It's their second container they've been growing in and they got pretty crowded here. So I thought maybe it's a perfect time for do it because their roots are not that connected together and they just need more place to grow like normally and faster. We have another Echeveria sitting here. It's from the different plant. I don't know why it's sitting here, but maybe I just stick leaf cuttings here and since then it performed quite well. Not all of them are doing perfect, some of them even died or have died. I don't know why, maybe I forgot to water it a couple of times. It happens. First, I loosen up the soil with a stick to make it softer and easier to work with. That way I can remove the offsets without damaging them. So, now you see how really easily they come out, and I don't have to worry about accidentally snapping their heads off. This is actually another benefit of using a very loose soil mix for succulents. Any repotting becomes much easier. A lot easier than dealing with the soil that has compacted into one solid clump. Now I can remove the little pieces of wire, since I don't need them anymore. They were used to keep the young leaves in place while they were rooting. I'm also removing the remaining dried up mother leaves, along with some dried lower leaves from the young rosettes. Great! Now I have more than 10 healthy little rosettes ready to move into their new pots. As always, I've prepared everything what I need for today's repotting. First, a lot of tiny pots. I don't know what it is. And of course, my fresh made succulent soil mix. But the problem, I hope it's not a problem for today, that it's the last batch what I have. So in one of the next video, maybe in the very next video, I'll take you with me and we will make new batch of the succulent soil mix the way I do it or I make it together. So if you're interested in this type of content, stay tuned. The first thing I do is slightly mist the soil mix. It keeps the dust under control and makes the whole planting process a lot cleaner. I've also heard that roots establish a little faster in a slightly damp mix. Whether that's true or not, I can't say for sure, but it seems to work well for me. Just make sure the mix is only slightly damp, not wet. Wet soil and fresh roots are usually not a great combination. For this transplant, I'm not gonna use a drainage layer. First, because I'm almost out of clay pebbles, and second, because these pots are very small and the soil mix is extremely airy. So in this case, I don't think a drainage layer is really necessary. Okay, next comes the planting itself. Somehow the easiest and the hardest part at the same time. You need to keep the plant upright, but it always seems to lean to one side the moment you let go. And as usual, this is much easier when you're not trying to film it. To be honest, quite a few of my plants have been waiting for a repot for months, simply because I wanted to make a video about it first. A few days ago I finally stopped waiting and repotted some of them off camera. It was surprisingly quick and easy. I've said this before, but it's worth mentioning again. These won't be getting any water for the next 3 or 4 days. The roots need a little time to heal after being disturbed. Watering immediately can increase the chance of rot, and after waiting a year for these plants to grow, that's not a risk I'm willing to take. And I'm done for today. As you see, everything is done. And thank you for watching, thank you for being here with me, and thank you for all of your kind comments and support. See you in the next one. And now, sorry, see you in the next one is too late. It's too early to say. Now I can get away from my balcony and let the bird sit back on the nest. For the past few weeks I've been sharing this balcony with a pair of birds that decided to build their nest here. I try not to disturb them too much, but still it's my balcony and I have to use it from time to time. They saw me around while they were building the nest, so I guess we've all gotten used to each other by now. They successfully raised here 4 chicks last year, so hopefully this year goes just as well. Anyway, that's it for today, and see you in the next one.